Guys, and welcome to Outrage of the Month number 12. Suggestion to talk about why we have nipples. I thought that was pretty self-explanatory. Let's talk about whether the genetic change of human DNA will pass into the germline and kill everyone. Say hello. Hello.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay, so there seems to have been a pretty cool conference that's just taken place in Manchester called, well, it was by the Hingston Group, and basically the meeting's takeaway was a statement that basically said research involving editing the human genome, including research with human embryos, is essential to gain basic understanding of biology and germ cells, and should be permitted. So, let's do this, let's talk about it, let's not just ignore it, which is great, which is fabulous. And one of the sort of the opposing viewpoints to this attitude is, of course, there's some moral disagreement that surrounds the modification of the germline. Okay, so what is the germline? I mean, what does that mean? Essentially, it means that the genetic modification is not for you as a person, it's for, say, an embryo or something that is going to pass on that modification to its children and then to their children and their children. So something that kind of seems very permanent and very like dooming and damning. And it's kind of ironic to take that attitude precisely because if you want to have a genetic modification to go left, you can have a genetic modification to go back right. The whole point of this technology is that you have options and choices and flexibility that currently you don't have. Currently, diseases get passed down generation after generation. Disability, just bad things that no one would argue aren't bad. Those people have no choice. Those people have no flexibility. Those people have no options. The status quo is a problem that this technology can and will solve. The technology is not the rigid issue. The technology is not the damning issue. The present, as it is without the technology, is the damning issue. Grandma kicked me out because she wanted to vacuum clean specifically under the chair that I was sitting on. But the last point is that the whole point of ethics and having conversations about ethical issues is to try to focus on some sort of common sense, right? And the issue with some of these viewpoints in the ethical debate is that they detract from the common sense and they pander to the ignorance and to the panicking sheep that you can get involved in this conversation, and they completely detract from the common sense. The whole point of ethics is to appreciate that common sense, and you cannot have common sense in ignorance. That's not common sense, that's just ignorance. So let that ignorance not have a say, really, I guess. Anyway, it's sunny, isn't it? Check this. Yay! I'm just gonna go in to see that Grandma's finished vacuum cleaning that precise patch that could not go unvacuum cleaned.